Hello, this is Melody and Pizon from A2A, and I will be presenting to you my summative assessment 3, which is consists of 7 tasks using different formulas in Excel. So let's start off with task 1. I'm sharing my screen now. So for task 1, I like column E. Okay, so it is stated that we will be applying a conditional formatting. So here in Home tab, in the Styles group, let's click Conditional Formatting, and we will be using circles. So for that, we'll be going here in Icon Sets, and we will see there are different types of shapes, directional indicators, and ratings. So for our task 1, we will be using these 3 traffic lights. So let's click it. After that, let's go ahead here in conditional formatting, and let's click manage rules. I will be presenting to you the rules. So let's edit the rule here. And we can see here the icons, the value, and the type. So for type, so as we can see here, it's not percent, it's number. So we will change it to number. And for the value, we will be having here, so for green, when the value is greater than 70, 70. Yellow circle, when the value is greater than 40 or equal to 40 but under 70, so 40. And red when it is under 40. So let's click OK. The rule change. And notice here, if you click OK, the circles will be different than earlier because we changed the rule. So that's how our task 1 will go. Next, let's go to our task 2. So for task 2, we're also using the conditional formatting. So let's highlight here the numbers in column E, which is so last month. Again, in the Home tab styles group, let's click conditional formatting. So with this, we will be using the greater than. Let's click greater than. So format cells that are greater than the in stock or 90% of in stock. Let's delete the dollar signs. So 90%, so multiply by 9.9, which is the 90%. And let's edit here the format. Let's custom the format. Instead of it should be bold. And the color would be RGB, red 0, green 176, and blue 80. So all 017680, let's click OK and check it again and click OK. So as you can see, this is the preview. So this will be the format that will be here. So let's click OK and click OK. So as we can see here, if the number in sold last month is greater than the 90% of in stock, the data would be bold and will be colored to RGB 017680. For task 3, so for the first task, here in column F, let's use the function OR. For function OR, if the both statement is false, it will be false. But if only one statement is false, it will be true. So for function OR, if the T2 is equals to gold, and the usage is equals to unlimited, it will be false. So that's our function for gold. So let's copy it to all the gold. So all should be false because it is unlimited. So for silver, we'll be using the end function. End function will display true if it's true and false if it's not. Okay, so for that, okay, if it's silver and if this is greater than its usage limit, which is 20, it will display true. If it's less than, it will display false. Okay. Next for bronze, we will also be using the end function. So if this is bronze and this is greater than the usage limit, which is 10, we enter it's true. If it's less than, it will be false. So let's copy the formula of bronze with all the bronze here. And for the silver, so that's all for our task 1. Next is for task 2 inside I6. So we'll be using the average ifs function. So let's stop. Have here the usage and the tier. So if it is gold, it will be computed in average. And if it is in northeast, it will be computed in average. So we click it. So that's all for our task 3. Task 4. First task we will be using here formula, no? So we'll go here to formula tab and insert function. So for the function that we'll be using is VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table and then returns a value in the same row from a column you specify. By default, the table must be sorted in an row. So let's click the VLOOKUP. So lookup value, we will be looking up for BK. For table array, we will be looking up in the table here in member country sheet. So press Ctrl Shift arrow down. For the code index number will be number 2 because it will be in here, the second column. So we'll choose number 2. For the range lookup, we have false. And then we click OK and drag this down for the formula to be copied here. So that's how we use VLOOKUP. Next, for the second task in task 4, is we will be using the function if. So again, in formula style, click insert function and click if. So if checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another value if it's false. So click OK. For a logical test, we'll be having here the E2 so equals 0. If it equals 0, if it's true, we'll be displaying summer only. It means that the country participated summer only. So if false, will be both. So we click OK here. So you can see it's both. So we drag it down for the formula to be copied. As you can see, we have your summer only if it's 0, both if there are two values. So that's how we use VLOOKUP and if function. Next is our task 5. So for task 5, for this, we will be using the function, insert function, we'll be using the function PMT. So here we have your table, we will be filling it up with data needed. So for the rate, we have here the annual interest rate of 5%, and we will be dividing it into 12. Why? Because we are looking for monthly payment, not year payment. Okay, so for N per, it is the years of how many years until you pay off the debt. So it's 5 years, and again monthly, so we multiply it to 12 months. Okay, so for our present value would be the total less our down payment. For the for FV, we do not have FV, so we type here 0. And for the type, there are two types. No, there will be type is a logical value. Payment at the beginning of the period will click 1. So here is beginning of the month, so we have 1. If 0, it is at the end of the period or a month. So and then we click OK. So as we can see, we have here a negative amount. So for that to be corrected, we will be editing our formula. We'll have our total negative and down payment positive. And that's how we use the function PMT. So that's all for task 5. For task 6, create a clustered column chart in A13 that displays each department, the hours worked, and the gross pay. So when we are creating a clustered column chart, let's select each department, the hours worked, and the gross pay. So click Control and select the gross pay. So for that, let's go to the Insert tab and click Recommended Charts. So as you can see, this is a clustered column, so click OK. And we place it in A13. After that, add a linear forecast trend line that forecasts 3 periods for gross pay. So for us to add a linear forecast trend line, we'll click here the chart elements to add, remove, change chart elements, such as title, legend, headline, and data levels. If you wanted to edit our chart elements, so we click here, and we will be adding a trend line. So we click here, a trend line, specifically a linear forecast for our gross pay. So we click OK. So this is the linear forecast trend line for the 3 periods for gross pay. Next, next is create a secondary axis that displays the gross pay as a vector. So we click here our gross pay, which is the gross pay is the orange one, so we click the orange one once, and then right click. We'll be adding a secondary axis, then click format data series. After that, let's click a secondary axis. Okay, so we already added a secondary axis. It displays the gross pay. So again, right click, we will be displaying the gross pay as a linear chart. So we change the sales chart type of the gross pay. Okay, so here it's clustered column. We will be changing it to linear. Okay, to line chart pala. So already changed it, so we click OK. And that is our chart. That's all for task 6. So we have here task 7. In task 7, create a pivot table on this worksheet beginning in G10 that includes all fields in the table. So we'll be including all the fields here in the table. Let's select that. Control Shift arrow down for all. And then let's insert a pivot table. System worksheet location would be G10 and click OK. Once we have that, this will display the item SKU and color as rows, price as values, and date as columns. After that, we'll be grouping by days, months, and quarters. So the date will be here up. And we right click this one and click group. After clicking it, as you can see, days and months are selected. So we needed to select the quarters. Click OK. And we have here the quarter date. Next, we'll create a calculated field to calculate the total sales of each order. The name of the field will be total sale. So there will be calculating, we'll be adding calculated field. So calculated field, we'll name it total sales. For its formula, we have in the quantity sold multiplied by its price. Click add and click OK. And now we have the total sales. Next, we'll be adding quantity sold to rows under under color, sorry. After that, we'll be creating an area pivot chart. For us to create another pivot chart, we'll click insert, click recommended chart, and we'll have the area. So this is an area chart. Click OK. And place it to A7. Okay. After that, we'll be inserting a slicer for color and quantity. So we insert here slicer for color and quantity sold. And click OK. So these are the slicer for color and quantity sold. Using the slicers, filter the data to show only green. So only green. So yan, Photoshop. So in cell H7, use the get pivot data to repair the total sales of green clothing sold in October. So for October, we have here in column BQ 129, and the column for October is BQ 12. Close parentheses and click enter. Let's have here in October. So that's all for our task 7. We created a pivot table and calculated field, an area pivot chart, a slicer, and we also used the function get pivot data. That's all for task 7. Again, this is Pizon, and thank you so much. I hope you learned something and have a good day. Bye!